Hi Moses, welcome to BizTalk. That's my great pleasure having you with me today. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good. How are you?
Well, good, thank you. So let's start talking about yourself. Let's give a little bit of your background, what you've done so far.
Yeah, well, in a nutshell, we're creating a social travel inspiration app. Um, my background is really, I really come from ideas. So I love creating ideas for stuff and creating products that are going to create value. So that is really my what really sort of inspires me. And previous to working on Freespirit and the startup, I had some experience at some advertising agencies, one in particular called Geometry, which was where I really sort of discovered I love this sort of idea process. And that's really all I wanted to do. So that's where my love of ideas started from. I think Freespirit, which initially started as a university project in my final year at university, was came about by a backpacking trip I did in the Philippines. And really from that trip, decided that, every young person needs to travel and see the world. So
Absolutely. So, let's start talking a bit about more in details about your venture.
of course. So we're a social travel inspiration app. People upload content to this app. In return, that content acts as a resource, allowing people to see and decide where they want to go to. So it's actually a very simple process, but we have elements within it that make it very interactive and engaging. So no more sort of typing in, a location or an address. It's really we've got this interactive map filter that makes this finding of travel inspiration really effective and efficient. So yeah, I mean, I've got some prototypes, and I've got a little presentation I can walk you through.
Yeah, please do.
So I'm more than happy to do that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so the problem, so at the moment we lack an effective form of travel inspiration. So currently the most popular travel inspiration sites include platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TripAdvisor, Twitter, and Google. But what are they really about? Well, Facebook is about friends and family. Instagram is about lifestyle. Snapchat's about lifestyle. TripAdvisor has become stodgy and out of date and not relevant to a young demographic. Twitter is about microblogging, and Google is anything and everything, and it's just overwhelming. But yet what we found is young people are trying to find places that they want to go to, but nobody knows where to go, and they're using all these different platforms to do it. And then you have the travel agency and aggregator brands, so your Booking.com, your Expedia, and they're about providing the best deals and discounts for their customers, but lack effective forms of travel inspiration. So our solution is to create a new form of social network to inspire, connect, and inform young travelers. And basically what we've done is we've created 4 core processes that we have found generates and creates the most effective forms of travel inspiration. And we've run focus groups in America, Europe, Southeast Asia, and we've received a 95% approval rating from these focus groups. So we feel very confident about the product and how it works. And I can show you little later on, I've got some mock templates to show you what those core processes are. But yeah, the market size. So youth travel is one of the fastest growing market segments. In 2010, it was worth $150 billion. By 2030, is expected to be worth $1 trillion. There's different reasons as to why there's this exponential growth, but ultimately it's to do with, it taps into this Airbnb phenomenon of young people want to stay in the heart of a city, do as the locals do, feel part of the culture and really ingratiate themselves within that society. So it's like, you know, you stay in Barcelona, you have local tapas food and you do as the locals do. And then there's also this education aspect. So a lot of young people want to travel to enhance themselves and to be more understanding of the world, and then to take that information back home with them when they get jobs. So those are really the two main drivers as to why more young people want to travel. And then you've got the apps. I'll just walk you through the core processes, but basically you have the interactive map, media posts, search, and a suggestion panel. And the way it works is nowadays content is geotagged, has the GPS coordinates attached to the photograph or video that you've taken. So the idea is that people would upload content, and you're going to have this interactive map, and this is just of Indonesia, but you'd be able to click on or interact with Indonesia, and then your feed would change to that of Indonesia. Or you'd be able to zoom into specific cities, towns, villages, provinces, and interact with places and see content relevant to those locations. And then, of course, you can enlarge the map and edit it in full view and go through content in better detail in that way. And then you've got the suggestion panel. So this is just cities. So you'd click on cities, and then your media feed would change to that of cities. So London, Paris, New York, or beaches, or World Heritage sites, or honeymoon destinations, or ski resorts, and the list can go on and on and on and on. And then, of course, you've got the search. So you'll be able to find the latest trending hashtags and people of interest, influencers, etc. And also be able to key in a location manually if you like. So that's basically us in a nutshell. We've also created this video reel element. So every time you, when you interact with a piece of content, it's going to enlarge into a reel form, and you'll be able to swipe through like TikTok places relevant to the location that this content has been taken at. So yeah, that's in a nutshell what we're creating. Yeah.
Thank you, Moses. We can go, I mean, it's very interesting and quite different from what we can find today on the market. Now, what exactly do you think is your differentiating factor? What is your value proposition that can really attract you to your platform and take away from the one they're using now?
Yeah, so I think we're a focused social media for travel, and there is this really big gap of young people just not knowing where to go and what to use, and these other platforms are about different things and do different things. And I think there needs to be a platform that is for travel inspiration and that captures travel experiences, which is what we are about. So Instagram is about lifestyle, and a lot of its content is. TikTok is more kind of media based, and then we want to be about travel experiences and people capturing really incredible moments whilst they're traveling around the place.
You mentioned TikTok. TikTok is more about the technology behind the concept, okay? And on your side, how your technology is going to make the difference, and how exactly, and let me go to the interaction, how exactly these youth can interact on your platform as leveraging experience, right? Coming from each of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think because the process of it makes travel really accessible, the inspiration aspect really accessible, and these new elements that we've incorporated into the app make the finding of travel inspiration really easy and simplified and easy to use. So I think it's really for these reasons. People just don't have to think anymore. It's all there. And it's about people finding the places that interest them and that inspire them. And it's not about being given or shown stuff that you may like or may not like. It's about you. It's about self-discovery, and that's really the core of the process.
After, let's say, I'm going to your application and I find a nice place where I want to go. What happens after?
Yeah, so that's the So what you can do is there will be an element to save that post, so you'll be able to save it. Later on in the development of Freespirit, we're going to enable people to create boards of inspiration, travel inspiration, similar to that of Pinterest. And we're going to allow people to share those boards with their community. So you'll be able to plan for trips ahead in advance and save the type of content that you like. So yeah.
I mean, today is more about sharing contents, okay? But anyway, you need to monetize what you're doing. So is your application be integrated in some TripAdvisor, whoever they are, where they can book, booking.com or whatsoever, where they can actually after book, right? If I decide to go to London because I've been inspired by your application, after I want to book something and go. If I need to book the flight, maybe I need to book the hotel and so on. What's going to happen? Are you going to do this, or are you going to be integrating some different platform?
Yeah, so that's the exciting bit. It all starts with travel inspiration first, and I think once we have that is the gold dust that really differentiates Freespirit. After that, we would get into accommodation, flights, restaurants, activities, and the way it would work is on the interactive map, whereas now you have travel inspiration or locations or places that the user can click on. We're going to have an accommodation map. So you're going to be able to zoom in on the map and see accommodation on it. And we've already actually partnered with TripAdvisor and Expedia. So this is something that we are working with them. This is something that we want to do as the next part of development, or the version 1.1 of Freespirit. So as you mentioned, yes, so that's something we are working towards in terms of having early stage monetization.
In terms of business model, how do you think you can monetize, except what we've been already talking about? Where your revenue is coming from?
Yeah, so that's one aspect that we're looking to generate revenue from. We're also um, we've also got we're going to allow companies to promote themselves on our media feed in the form of advertisements, so similar to that of Facebook, TikTok, and then they would pay for the privilege to do so.
I mean, what's the stage today?
Where are we at?
Yeah.
So we are 1 month away from launching. When we do launch, we're going to be beta testing, getting people on board, testing the product. I mean, when you create an app, there's always going to be bugs and issues that need to be fixed. But we're working with a really, really talented team. Hyper, this incubator program, we're working with their development team, and they have teams all around the world. So in Australia, China, America, South America. So it's coming together really nicely, and we should have a really great app launched relatively soon.
Okay. I mean, what's your strategy? You launch in a month, and after you need to start working with early adopters, and after the business should start, okay? So when, let's say in 6 months, you're ready with your MVP, let's say beta, whatever it is, and what's going to be next? How do you want to scale your business? And where exactly is going to be your first market? Although you're online, so you can reach whatever you want. But anyway, you can do marketing globally. You need to decide what to do before.
Yeah, so I think that's a really important question that you raise. And, we're going to have this chicken and egg problem of why are people going to want to upload content if there's no content on the app? And the question is, how do we go about solving that? Is it solvable? Of course it is. And it's not unsimilar to the other platforms like Tinder or Airbnb that have been created. So it's really about experimenting and engaging with how we try and get people on board. And we have different strategies ready of how we could go about doing that. But I think in the early stages of development, we really need to just experiment and see what works and what doesn't work. We are going with this influencer approach at the moment. So we're collaborating with influencers. We're going to bring them onto the app. We're going to be giving them special perks and privileges, discounts to flights and accommodation when we partner with those providers. And then in return, they would make a post to their following. So we're getting them on board, and we're hoping that they're going to form the basis for the content that's going to be created for Freespirit. So I think that's one option we're playing with. But really, I mean, until we have the product in our hands, can we really start experimenting and playing with how we go about marketing it?
So who's going to pay for the service you're providing?
For the marketing of it?
I mean, for the service you're providing for your application, you need to generate some revenue and having some working capital to carry on, right? So it's going to pay to you, to your application.
Yeah, so it's all free. It's all free. So people will be able to upload content for free, just like any other social media platform. But I think really until we get to the 50,000 daily active user mark, can we start charging companies for using our media feed to advertise on. So I think we really need to, and we've already started building those relationships with different and various brands to come on board as partners. So that's really going to be our early stage revenue. But really right now it's about just creating that community. We want to create, that's the priority. Without the community, we can't generate any revenue. We don't have the audience. And we can't really integrate the accommodation aspect with TripAdvisor and Expedia. So it's just creating that community and getting that working first, which is our priority.
I mean, it's even pretty much the most difficult part of your business, right? To get the first users and more the users, the first one who is going to create contents, because in the end of the day, we are very much a content application, and without contents, right?
Yeah.
There is not that much can be done. I understand the way to use influencers to be the first one who can upload and create the contents on your platform. How many people work with you? How many people from the team?
So it's just myself, Martin, who is our CTO, who is developing the app, and we're working with a very talented lady called Monica, who is our head of marketing, who is helping guide the marketing process. So it's really a three-person team, alongside some interns as well, who we're getting on board to help create social media marketing and writing blogs, these types of things. So we're a small team right now. So yeah, looking ambitious and looking to expand.
Of course, you need to be always ambitious, whatever you do in life. I mean, you will start in a month. I suppose the launching will be done in UK because where you're based in London. And after, how do you think you can move out the UK, maybe going to Europe, to Asia, to US? But anyway, even though you are online, as probably 99% of today's startups, we are mostly tech and mostly digital and online, you still need money. So how do you think you can go, and how, in terms of strategy, and how much you think you need for the next 12, 24 months?
Yeah, so I think at the moment we want to show proof of concept first. So we want to show the product working and people engaging with it. Right now, we are in the process of looking at costs. There are many different aspects that we want to integrate into the app to enhance it, to make it better. So one of the things, for example, would be the inclusion of filters to allow people to add stickers to their images or videos, and you know, special filters to enhance them as well visually. So I think these costs are just being we're talking about them right now, and until we have those figured out, can I give you a sort of an estimate of how much we would be looking for. But yeah, I mean, it's also dependent on how we go about marketing this as well, and what methods work and what don't, which will determine an overall investment cost. But that's really where we're heading towards, is this proof of concept. And yes, you're right, we are going to be looking for an investment amount there afterwards. So
if I remember right, you're with an accelerator program, incubation program?
Correct, yes. Yeah, so
finish it.
Sorry?
When do you finish your program?
So we've actually finished with them already. So the way they work is they get you to the prototype stage of the app, and then from there, they have their own developers who handpick the types of apps that they want to work on. And Martin and Tom, who is the founder of Hyper, picked Freespirit as an app that they wanted to get developed. Yeah, I mean, we've just been working with them, with Martin, who is overseeing the overall development of Freespirit at the moment. So we've left Hyper. We're in very good terms with each other with Hyper, but yeah, we've left them. So
it's time now. I mean, for what I can understand, you want to wait for the prototype to be ready, right? From the first version be ready and start testing. And after, of course, you need some money. So in your mind, in 3 months, 6 months, what is going to be? Are you going to raise some angel investments, friends and family? And if, just, an average, how much you think you can, how much you need?
Oof. How long is a piece of string? Well, I think, I mean, we've raised friends and family around quite a bit already. The next stage would be to find additional investment. I mean, it's really, I can't really say at the moment, but it would be a substantial amount. And it'll also depend on how well our launch goes, and if that goes really well, looking at those KPIs, those key performance indicators, and really seeing, if those are, have a really positive trajectory, then I think we're looking for quite a big amount. But we'll have to see first. And of course, we are in this COVID pandemic, which has completely crippled the travel industry, and flights and anything travel related is about 50% down. So this is obviously going to have an effect on us. So we'll see. We have to see first how things work.
Let me ask you, where do you see your venture application in 5 years' time? You have to have your vision, so just reveal your vision.
Everywhere. No, I think, what we're creating is something of a lot of value. And I think, we're creating this form of infrastructure that's going to allow young people to travel more effectively and more efficiently, that has never been done before. So I really believe that this is a product that is going to make travel more accessible, and that is going to have an impact on a world stage. So, yeah.
You're not racing today. You will, maybe in 3 months. If you have a message to investors, why they should invest in your venture? And what's your idea? I know it's very far away, but an exit strategy if they invest in what you're doing.
Yeah, so I think, my message for investors would be, this is something new. I think a lot of the time, and this is just with my experience, a lot of the time with a lot of venture capitalist companies. I think a lot of those organizations seek to go with products and services that are already sort of working. So Tinder was the first dating app. Now there's 1,000 of them. There's 1,000 dating apps.
How many you want?
Exactly. And, you know, Uber is another one. They were the first taxi app, rideshare application. And now there's hundreds of those. And I think, you know, with Freespirit, I think we sort of fit into that category. We are different, and this is a new idea. But yeah, I mean, I'd be brave about it, and I'd see the possibilities of what it has to offer and the potential that it has to offer. As for the exit strategy, you know, we're already chatting with TripAdvisor, Expedia. You know, as mentioned in my pitch deck, those are products that lack effective forms of travel inspiration. By acquiring, if they were to acquire us, then that would really help them, because they're sort of solving that problem. Or even, you know, a traditional, you know, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, those companies. So yeah, I mean, yeah, in a nutshell, that's what I think the exit strategy could be.
Moses, thank you very much for coming to BizTalk. It's been a very great pleasure to talk to you, and I do wish you all the best for your venture, and I'm pretty sure we succeed.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Max. Pleasure speaking with you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Have a good day.